So yeah, as you can see, we fixed this minor kerfluffle here. They're having problem queuing this being the same volume as the other because it's a sample, because the original track has the sound effect of a ka-ching, like someone's like raiding my bank account is what they're making jokes about while we're constructing this song. But no one's raiding my bank account. Here's probably my favorite part. The beginning is in reverse, and then we get here and I threw like at least like 400, 500 edits on this one part of the song. Let me grab my headphones. So let's press play. And you can hear it start off. But yeah, this took like 500 edits, flipping it, echoing it, and then shaping the echo with adjustable fade over and over again, so it swaps ears even as fast as a bullet at some points. Okay, let's pause it and then let's flip it out of where it's been mixed and rendered. We'll zoom in on the little few spots I did besides just right here. So let's just go here and zoom in. And a few things here. This stupid blip on the original song that hurt my ears. Someone hacked it, and then, because, yeah, hackers troll me over and over again, but they hacked it and they put a little bit of a clipping noise, and it's the most abrasive clipping noise. It made me so mad. But now we fixed it and we made a stereo cut in and out using the sound effect. If you generate noise and then go to Brownian, pick Brownian, generated a noise, and then shaped it, and do this, clipped it here, and then adjusted the volume, added a stock filter that I use. It's this graphic EQ that I made for my song. Originally, I made it for my song Back from the Dead, but I've used it on so many songs, like probably over like 20, 30 songs by now. And then we made a flying saucer with a twist. Another generated noise. If you go to effect, generate noise, and then you just use the white noise instead of the Brownian. Run the graphic EQ filter again, and then shape it, because like say if I wanted to generate some noise here, here's what it will look like if you just, sorry, I'm so used to going to effects. Generate noise. So just some stock white noise, sounds like, or looks like just that. So from here you have to turn that into that. So rough paraphrase, we'll go to the effect and graphic EQ. This is the first effect I put on it. That makes it way louder, so you can go to the amplify and you'll see that it's set to the maximum output. Instead, let's dip it down and just a rough estimate, let's say 25 decibels under the maximum volume, which makes it quieter than this part, because you can see the further it is to there, it's the louder. So let's take it up by 10. And this is just all rough paraphrasing. Sorry, for sake of brevity, my laptop actually just got tricked out. So you can see it's a little bit bigger, so maybe 3, 4, 5 as well. And then instead of, say, a straight fade, you want to run an adjustable fade, so like 33 to 100. Hallelujah. And then, whoops, lost my spot. So here's a simple trick that you ought to use to avoid clipping. If you ever lose your spot, make sure you toggle here and then drag so there's no downtime because I'll zoom in all the way in and demonstrate, and all the way in, and where you can see samples. Here's one sample, from there to there is one sample, and you can see, say if I started with a blue here instead of where it's at when I flipped it over, it would cause clipping because you want to not overlap no matter what. So to do non-overlapping, you have to make sure that you always drag and drop. Like, I'll demonstrate again. Here's my Q toggle. Oh no! See, that's where you lose a Q. Now, let's just run the adjustable fade again. And I'll demonstrate. Say if you did like a whole sequence of these, because you could use the shift key to help toggle. There's one way. And then a quick trick in adjustable fade is, you switch it to fade down, you don't have to change the number here and there. It'll just register as starting at 100 and going to 33, so it's not convoluted, as you can see. So then you toggle it again to do the next portion, and so on and so forth. If you hit the shift key, like if you just hit the shift key, it'll start at any spot and it'll already toggle. So just a few tricks to make sure that your edits are as smooth as possible. Like say if you want to edit a downbeat, like look at the tip of, say, right there. If you want to splice a track to make sure that, say you edit out a few bars, and this is the most basic editing in Audacity, like editing an instrumental, you would have to go to the very apex, like the one that's longest of a wavelength, and then say if you spliced it, I know this sounds crazy, you would splice it from one wavelength to, say, here's another long one, and then you would go, say if it's like 8 bars or 16 bars, you go 16 bars over and then find the corresponding longest wavelength that starts off the phrase, and then this is all simple editing stuff. But then, and you really have to eyeball this, then you would hit the shift button and then click on that. I have the cell phone in my left hand, so I can't really hit the shift button and click my mouse, but because my laptop's so ghetto that the mouse pad on the laptop itself doesn't work anymore. They just like turn it off. So I'd use a mouse on, but I don't like a mouse in the house normally, just like the laptop's finger pad. That's how I edited before, but now I have this nerdy mouse. It's annoying, but whatever. So, because that's all I have to say about this. And now, well, I'll mention one more thing. Here's where you throw that in, and I've already done it. This was a part in question that was always too loud because no one wanted to coordinate it sounding at the right volume, and so annoying. But basically how you make it quieter is you run an adjustable fade for 100 to, I chose a number 65%. Since, like I said before, you don't have to put the 100 here and the 65 here. You can run them there and there. So then you run the adjustable fade, and then zoom out. Then you toggle here, and you have to make sure it toggles, because I'm doing this one-handed, and it's annoying. Now, the tricky part, if you don't know how to run an adjustable fade and you just do an amplification, it'll clip like a mother bleeper. So that's where you add another 65.0. I'm just getting fancy. Whether it says fade up or fade down, it's not gonna matter. But on that, and it's a straight amplification that matches the end of the adjustable fade there. Then from there, and I better get this toggle right, otherwise going Control Z. And you come here, and I bet you know where I'm going with this, but here's where you run the adjustable fade. I've already done this, so this is just like doing it over again, and I'll do it all fancy for y'all this time, because usually I'm very lazy. I would put the 100 in the top column. So then from there, and then it just fades up from 65% of the volume back to 100% here. So for those reasons, the song doesn't clip and jut in volume. Just does a smooth, seamless mesh. And you can see here's the spawn. But since I already did that, only took just a little bit of effort. Not gonna save this. You can see the file on my laptop. Do not hack my laptop. This is Todd from Wild. Over and out. Hell no.